Hi, Friday the 6th of December 2019, and we'll have a look now at the weekend that is ahead of us through until Sunday the 8th. We've actually got Moon in Aries right through until Sunday the 8th in UK time. It's actually going to be late Saturday night, 11:29 p.m. Pacific, west side of the States and Canada, when the Moon enters Taurus, but that's not actually going to happen until 2:29 Eastern, 7:29 a.m. Sunday here in UK, and 2028, I think that must be 2029, it's all the same hour, in New Zealand. The Moon's going to enter Taurus, so we're really looking at an Aries-based weekend. That's where the Moon is now. It's quite an active thing. People tend to work that bit harder, or at least wish they could work harder at something. Can be frustrating if you can't kind of order things, and as time's coming up to Christmas, it's really quite difficult to get things delivered, as I've been finding out, and as we've probably all been finding out over the last couple of weeks. Actually, it's steadily built up, but there we go. Christmas is a happy thing coming towards us, so whatever's tricky about Aries at the moment, let us remember it's leading us towards something, at least something a little bit better coming in. Not the best time to visit the dentist. I rather wish I hadn't said that, but it's on my chart and it just sort of came out. If you're going to the dentist today, don't worry about it. It's not going to be too bad, but yes, it says it's not the best time for it. It's anything that really takes a lot of diplomacy and a lot of patience is going to be difficult at the moment. That's going to be much better under the Taurus moon as we move into next week. And I'll be back on Sunday with a look at the week ahead for next week. But as we come to this weekend, it's the culmination of quite an interesting week that we've had, really, because Jupiter has entered Capricorn. That was on Monday the 2nd. And, Capricorn, the cardinal earth sign, it's got sort of very grounding and draws things down in a way that can seem really quite negative. It tends to restrict our ability to expand, really. It's as if there's kind of a shirt that's much too tight on us. When you can't quite breathe because the clothes are too tight. It's felt a bit like that. We will get used to it, but it's just tricky at the moment. Anything positive like that is challenged a fair bit. The moon, as I'm doing this, by the way, 69, let me have a look. No, it's just turned on to 70% full as I look at this, and I'm doing this about 20 minutes to 10 a.m. on Friday morning, because it's my birthday and I'm kind of late with things because it's been that kind of time, Right, Sun square Neptune, well, that has just been the case for ages. Moon square Venus, social interactions have more emotional charge. Much more kind of feelings coming into making decisions, that kind of thing. Public events tend to be positive. It tends to be quite a strong response you get to anything you do out there in public as well. So let's hope everyone kind of piles loads of likes onto my videos, because YouTube is talking about just getting rid of channels that don't make them any money in the near future. Only talking about it, but goodness me, thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave me a comment as well. That really helps to boost things, and it really helps to boost me, because I love to hear from people. Mercury void in Scorpio, and that's an ongoing thing now. It's just a difficult time when communications fall apart. You get a hint of the Mercury retrograde thing going on, put it that way. But Mercury isn't retrograde, still in the post-shadow, but only until tomorrow. The Mercury retrograde post-shadow ends on Saturday the 7th, and Mercury stays void in Scorpio until until Monday the 9th, an extra 2 days. But the retrograde side of Mercury is all done, it really is. Venus sextile Neptune, compassion, artistic creativity, things like that. Very positive, really. It's just that with an Aries moon, we do tend to get a fair bit of strictness about things, and that's why the patience side of things tends to fail a bit, The Aries influence isn't terribly forgiving. Let's just put it that way. Nothing too negative about it, but it's just not very forgiving of things that crop up, things that get in the way. So we have got the Aries moon. I've done that, haven't I? Right, because we have a Taurus moon by Saturday night Pacific, Sunday morning Eastern. And on Sunday, the Sun is going to square Neptune. And that sort of, it can bring disappointment, It can just make things not tick as nicely as we'd like them to. But in that way, it's a real good time on Sunday, at least, to relax and avoid stress. And as that aspect is coming towards us now, it would be a good way to think this weekend. Just to, it's a good time to be creative, that kind of thing. A good time to dream the dream as well, and maybe not a bad time to actually be on your own and just do that hermit thing, go into yourself a bit, because it's kind of less sociable, it's less joyous. Jupiter is really, well, it's the planet of the angel Jophiel, and it has a lot to do with joy and everything. But when it's in Capricorn, it becomes quite grounded, and certainly when it's square Neptune, it really will go that way as well. Now Jupiter in Capricorn. Jupiter spends a year in every sign, so it's going to take right through till December 2020 for Jupiter to move forward into Aquarius. But it's been in Sagittarius for the last year, so that obviously has been kind of really out there, really expansive, and a time when things kind of look as if they're going to happen and then suddenly don't happen. So in that way, it's quite positive, and there's a definite bit of progress there. But Jupiter has been, in the Hindu philosophy anyway, Jupiter is regarded as a guru or a teacher. But it'll still bring some good fortune to people who work for it, whatever's going on. Last time we had this alignment was in, Jupiter was actually in Taurus, and that was in 2000. And that, obviously was the build-up to 9/11. That great big terrible event, and we're still mourning the people who were lost in that, and I think we're all still a bit shocked by it, even though it was such a long time ago. It really is amazing when a tragedy and a disaster happens on that scale, isn't it? Really makes us stop and think. But this is really a case in point about something I'm always on about, and something that I strongly believe about astrology. I don't think that the planets actually bring these things into our lives and make these good things or bad things happen. They're simply they're harbingers, if you like. They kind of come along at the same time. It's just been observed for thousands of years that this is the way it is. For example, in the Mercury retrograde that is thankfully in the past now, I had some car trouble, and it's because I'm just in a position in life where I don't get to maintain my car as much as I'd like to. So if anything was going to hit me about the car, it was going to hit me then, and it did, and things have got a bit better since we got to the end of Mercury retrograde, But it's not Mercury's fault, it's just the way the time flowed. So this thing of Jupiter entering Capricorn, and also the fact that it's going to square Neptune on Sunday, if you're in a real good place in life, it's not actually going to restrict anything. It's not actually going to cause you a problem. But if there's things that need to change, and absolutely every one of us has got something somewhere in life that needs to change, we're going to become a bit more aware of that. And it's going to be along the lines of just, feeling like punctured, feeling like we're a glove puppet and someone took their hand out, a little bit kind of like that. But not a negative weekend, and no negative alignments here as far as I can see. And even if there were negative alignments, I'd still be saying think positive, because the only way to look is up. It really is. There we are. I will be back on Sunday. Thanks everyone who's liked and subscribed and commented, and I really appreciate all those comments on my video the other night, the old days. Predictably, I got an email from a YouTube someone who helps YouTube creators saying, well, no one's going to click on that thumbnail, it's all dark. And that was kind of the whole point, really, because I was doing it without any lighting or anything, because it's about the old ways. But hey, what are you going to do about it? Life is change, and we will see some change going on this weekend, folks. Just keep looking up and make sure it's positive change with you, if you possibly can. And I'll see you again very soon. Peace.